let me ask you guys this. Do you think that we will enter a time where there's going to be a disconnect between this risk on, risk off with crypto? Do you think that over the next 2 to 3 to 5 years that Bitcoin would ever be seen as the true digital gold, the store of value, the utility, the anti-fiat, where it disconnects, where if the stock market drops, that Bitcoin could actually be gaining in value? What do you think we'd have that in the next couple of years to see that correlation? Or is it strictly risk on, risk off, and it stays that way until it changes?
I'll let Scott go first.
Okay.
I am short. So, newsflash, breaking news, CNBC.
Breaking news.
I was looking when I was talking before, I was accidentally looking at Ethereum. So my numbers might have been a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but I'm short 37,450 right about. Okay. Let's see. Just below that. And I'd love to see it get down to like 36. Well, really to that low. So somewhere I'd love to get maybe $1,500 out of it. But I'm definitely short. I'm not short long-term. I'm fully expecting it to break a trend line up and resume its climb. But I am short. I am up $15. So you want to just call me the champ. That's fine.
Yes.
I'm up 22 cents.
We can cash in that Susan G. Komen Foundation. Get ready. Big donations coming your way.
Right. But to answer your question, boy, I have a hard time. Is Bitcoin a fiat? Is Bitcoin an escape for the dollar? Is a dollar worthless and Bitcoin is not? Mm-hmm. I know the zealots and I know the argument and it's compelling. And I know the $100,000 argument and it's compelling. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how much of that is feeding into Bitcoin, though, since we've had the gamification and the meme stocks. I'm not sure millions of people are trading it on their apps with the idea that it's going to replace the dollar. I think they're just buying it because it moves. So I'm still very fuzzy on what the overall worldly global significance is going to be. Right now, I think it's kind of a playpen a little bit, which is scary and wonderful at the same time.
Yeah, really, really interesting. Rob, same question to you.
Yeah, Peter Schiff is clearly way smarter than us. And I'm going to put that in quotation marks because you're always way smarter than everybody else until you're not. So right. I would be careful about ever sort of replacing gold with anything else as a store of real value. Gold's not really a store of real value. Like when the zombie apocalypse happens, it's not like you're going to be sitting on top of a pile of gold coins and anybody's going to care. It's going to be, guns, ammo, trucks, stuff like that. That's the real store of value, is your ability to feed yourself.
Survival and bartering. Yeah.
So gold is really not even, it's just whatever. Is gold really worth anything either? No, it's just, if a meteor struck the earth and it was made of gold would fall just like anything else. It's a supply and demand issue. And as long as gold is perceived as having the biggest supply and demand crunch, and as long as inflation is up, gold's probably going to do really well. Long term, though, as there are fewer and fewer Bitcoins, and as they, I think as the supply dwindles or the whatever, we're getting, closer and closer to 21 million or whatever the number is. I think sure there will be a supply and demand issue, but until then, it's kind of like a question. Like while people are debating that question, other people are making millions of dollars. So you can have fun having your pointy-headed academic conversations, or you could just make money on what's moving with stop losses, and you could just not worry about it. Like, I think there's two kinds of people in the world as the markets are concerned. There's people who talk a lot about it, and then there's people who don't talk much and who make a lot of money. And I would like to stop being a member of the first group and start being a member of the second group. Right. And so my answer would really be, nobody really should care. Who cares, right? I know none of us do. Like, we shouldn't care. It shouldn't even factor into our conversation. We should buy stuff that's doing well, and we should sell it when it stops doing well. And we should stop buying stuff that doesn't do well and list out a bunch of reasons why it should be going differently. Like this whole Russia-Ukraine thing is a great example of that. People are debating whether or not Russia's really going to do it. It doesn't really, until something actually happens, it doesn't matter. It has no effect on my life. I can't change it. Debating other people about it is ridiculous. There's a guy in my chat room who keeps posting these diatribes about how Russia will never invade Ukraine, but it doesn't have any effect on our personal lives at all. It's like, it's ridiculous. So I think the most important thing to do is, I think what Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett did all along: buy stuff at the best price you can get it and dump it if it's not doing well. And otherwise, so I'm not disagreeing with you even bringing the question up, but I think it's a great one. We get so wrapped up in these opinions, when in reality, none of us even know. Like, we don't have any idea. There's no one knows anything. So
right,
just
absolutely, and it's all speculation. It's all guessing. I mean, my stance on cryptos is, and I think, Rob, the last time we talked about this in our trading battle with Jamie, we had mentioned cryptos briefly, and it's total pure risk capital. I mean, I have to be comfortable with cryptos going to zero, and all the money I've invested and tried to make on it goes to zero. At the same time, if I'm long term, I hope it goes up like everybody else does. But it's a calculated risk right now. It's just crazy that we've created these these. I mean, you said diatribes, but we've created these parties of. I mean, it's so polarizing, just like a lot of things in society now. It's very polarizing. But I like to have those conversations simply because it's interesting that, like, if you believe in it and you want to be told it, you're gonna fill your Twitter feed up with people that are like-minded and not necessarily on the other side of it. So anyway,
like Charlie Munger is a great example. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett hated Bitcoin while Bitcoin was on the way to $65,000, and then Bitcoin dropped, and like, see, I was right. It's like, okay, well, like, I don't know what the point is anymore. Like, I think most of the world of investing and trading, especially the trading education industrial complex, of which I am a member. So this giant complex that's set up to convince people that you know something they don't know and they should pay you to find it out. The entire world of that, with the exception of Scott and me and you, Chris Pulver, and a few others, the entire world is set up to say, I think this might happen, so we're going to buy this in the hopes that it does happen. And sometimes that thing happens and your trade doesn't go anywhere anyway. Sometimes that thing happens and your trade loses. And sometimes that thing happens and it goes up. I think a better approach is really the Benjamin Graham, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett thing, which is wait until it's actually going. Wait until it actually is moving. Don't try to guess if it's going to start moving. Wait till it does start moving, and then hop on that train and stop tying specific events to an outcome, because you're going to be disappointed for the rest of your life. Because the NFP can be great and the euro falls. The NFP can be great and the euro drops. And Russia can invade the Ukraine and the stock market could go up. Like, nobody fucking knows. Like, nobody really knows. So just don't trade what you think. Trade what you see. And
that's perfect to Scott's strategy. I mean, Scott's, you say you're boring, but you're also, it's so simple. It's, the power of the simplicity. Keep it seriously simple. Like, that's awesome. I mean, Scott could be the perfect just trade what you see. And Scott, I know that for years, I mean, you've talked to, I mean, even in Rob's conferences, you've talked about turtles. I know you've loved that group of traders, teaching people how to trade. And it could be as simple as trend following, trade the breakouts, trade confirmation when things are running, ride the coattails, that momentum, and ride it as long as you can. And so, I mean, if that's as simple as it is, but yet that could be the actual that Rob said, the talkers and the doers, right? If you want to be on the side that's just let the game do the talking, let the process do the talking, then it's all about the trading.